Hey.
Okay, we just saw each other, what, 3 days ago recording. We're recording so soon this week.
Why do we tell people that?
Why not? Let's be transparent. You know, transparency is good. So we have a bit of a different episode today.
You want to be transparent? Let's talk about what the fuck is going on with electronics this week.
I
Computers
know.
are being weird. Y'all, for the record, a little BTS. This shit is not easy. Gina and I had to, 30 minutes trying to figure it out. Microphone just decided to fall apart in my hands. It's brand new, by the way. So we got an old microphone. It's just your computer laptop decided that it was going to take a break. It's just wild.
Yeah. I know it seems easy from your YouTube and your Spotify, but a lot of frustration goes on behind the scenes that you guys don't know about.
60% of our listeners are on Apple Podcasts.
Oh, yeah. At you guys, too. But, yeah, so it's been a little hectic this morning.
Anyway, you know what this calls for? A little fridge
Got
sig.
mine. I feel like if we just keep showing Coke on the pod, Coca-Cola
Diet
will
Coke.
definitely... Yeah, Diet Coke. But I'm saying like Coke brand, Coca-Cola brand. Maybe they'll sponsor us, our little baby podcast.
It's been sitting here so long, it's a little warm.
Ew. There's some ice in that shit.
We're here.
Anyway,
We're here.
we're here. And we're excited because we have a bit of a different episode today. Well, full transparency, we're recording a bit earlier than we normally do. So honestly, y'all, not a lot has happened since CJ and I last talked. I am going out of town for a few days, so we're recording early. So we are going to do kind of a fun episode of INYO, because we do have to pick and choose. We only do 1 to 2 an episode. So we have like ones that we haven't covered yet.
Yeah, we do have quite a few, so we'll do those. How was your weekend, by the way? Wait, did I see that you were you do stuff on boats?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, we went we did a surf day.
Yeah,
we surfed behind the boat at Chris and Breeze. But it was Hutch's 4th birthday.
Oh yeah. Little Hutchie had a little birthday. My little
He had
sweet
a little
boy.
bark day. I know. So we took him over and we all had a really, really nice Saturday. And then did a whole lot of nothing on Sunday. It was great. What about you? I saw you doing some sort of fitness competition thing.
Yes. Okay, so I wasn't the one participating in the actual competition. Y'all, I'm getting too old for that.
Oh.
When you get in your 40s, you will learn that stuff snap, crackles, and pops, not like it used to, and it's just hard to recover. Like that shit, it gets heavy. So it's this fitness competition they do in Venice Beach. So it's literally on the beach every year, and quite a few teams. There's like teams of 2, and it's just a fun thing that anybody can sign up for. And from our gym, I go to CrossFit Hollywood in Los Angeles, California. It's a CrossFit gym, and it's one of the oldest ones. They've been around for over 15, 16, 17 years. And so we had, I think it was like 7, 8 groups, like teams that just went to compete. I want to give a mad shout out to Derek and Jacqueline. Jeremy, hi Jeremy. Jeremy loves this show. He listens to it all the time. Derek, Jacqueline, Jeremy, Nathan, Peter, a few other people, Stephanie, that competed in this fitness competition and fucking killed it. And there was a huge
awesome.
group of us that went to just support. Joey and I went down there. We were there all day. We got there at like 11:30 and didn't leave until like 4:30 in the afternoon because we had to take our dogs.
Oh my gosh.
They have 4 20-minute competitions that these teams cycle through, and they have a 20-minute break in between. So it's intense. It's a lot. And I just want to like take a minute to give these people props, because just doing it alone is really hard, and stepping up there and doing something that's really, really, really difficult to accomplish such a goal like that, no matter where you place or if you placed it all, I think is a big fucking deal. One of my favorite things in the entire world to do is to watch people succeed at something and to accomplish a goal they set for themselves. I get off on that shit. I love seeing people win, no matter how big, no matter how small. If it's something you want to do and it's important to you, I want to fucking see you win. I was out there screaming my ass off for these people, and I was so proud of my friends. I was so proud of my friends. I have cool ass friends that do hard shit, and I'm so proud of you all, and I think that it was really fucking cool that you did it. It was really cool to watch. They had all kinds of vendors out there. We spent the day on the beach, and I don't know, it brought me so much joy, and it was so intoxicating to see my friends do hard shit. It was just really cool.
I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, anybody out there doing something really hard for themselves, keep going. I want to see you win. It's really fucking cool to see people do cool shit.
That's cool. What kind of stuff were they doing? Like what?
Oh my gosh.
Like what kind of things?
So you always have 2 people, and usually in these workouts, while one is doing one thing, the other does another, or you wait to transition. And the hardest
Okay.
one that people have to do is there's these ski ergs where you have to pull
I
an
hate
ergonomic
those.
machine. Right. So you had to do
I fucking hate those.
600 meters on that while the other, and then walk back and forth in the sand with, I think, a 40-pound weight on your back. That's what one person had to do,
God.
cycle, while the other person is flipping a tire and doing a burpee step over to a
Fuck that.
350-pound tire. Most of the people that compete in that competition didn't finish it. My friends Derek and Jacqueline did finish it, though. We were screaming
Derek and Jacqueline,
like crazy.
superheroes. That is okay. First of all, you can pay me enough to do a single burpee without flipping a tire or
In
jumping
the
through
sand.
hoops in the sand, doing backflips. Fuck that. That is awesome. That is hard shit. Skiers, 600 meters on a skier. If you've ever done it, vomit.
Yeah.
Vomit. Oh my gosh.
And it
Well,
was so
congrats
cool at
to
the
y'all.
end of that
That,
one.
that sounds hard.
Yeah, it was so cool at the end, too, because if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this. Jacqueline could barely walk in the sand after she finished doing those. And it was just so wild to watch. She could literally not walk. And Derek had finished his, but she had to run the length of the track to get to the end of the finish line. So Derek said, "Get on my back." And she jumped on his back.
Teamwork.
And he carried her to the finish line. Now, y'all, if you ain't hyping up your woman like that, then you ain't doing it right. He
Are they
literally
married?
Carried her. Yeah, they're married. They're from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah.
cute.
It was really, really
Wow,
cool.
that's
I was
very
so
cool.
proud of them. Yeah, and then another one of their competitions, they were busting their ass so hard, and I was at the finish line with them. I remember just jumping right in their sweaty arms. I was like, I don't care. I'm so excited for you all. Yeah,
Oh, that's cool. That is an accomplishment. Wow.
yeah. I was really proud of Jeremy too. He worked really hard. I'm really proud of
Go
all my
team.
friends. You guys are cool. Yeah. And then that night, Joey and I walked almost 30,000 steps. We were so tired. Later that night, we went to the fair. I talked about that last week. We went to the fair. We
Yeah.
took Amelia to the fair. Let me tell you, that shit was fun. Seeing this adorable, lovely human being who is 2 years old have the best time at the fair. Oh my gosh, we did so much. We went to see the animals, and she was so enamored by that. We played all the fair games. Like she's learning how to like throw. It was the best. We ate so much food.
Is Joey and now you, I guess, are you guys uncles that no matter the age allow a child to win, or do you not let her win things?
Well, in fair games, there's not really winning. Although she did win like a couple like tiny little prizes. One of those where it's like kids, you just go fishing and then you get something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But she's not at the age where she can like actually do the game. Like we'll go 1, 2, 3, and we'll throw it with her kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Joey and I will be those uncles that if you want to win, you need to play.
Yeah. That's how it has to be. You got to teach a child to learn how to
When
lose.
we get older, I'm not a participation trophy person.
Agree.
But I have a feeling
that's sweet,
Amelia will be keen on that. She is, first of all, she's really smart. Like it kind of blows my mind how smart this little girl is. And she almost has no fear. Like they had this giant ass, one of those swings, like turn your head up kind of thing. She was like, I want to go on that. And we were like,
She'd fly right out of it.
she was like, I want to do the big slide. I want to do this. Like she just wanted to do everything. Like that girl just didn't have a lot of fear
That's
in
so
her. And I absolutely loved it.
cute.
It was so cute. It was so fun.
What was the best thing that you ate?
Ooh, I love a deep fried Oreo. I had one of those. So we had Dippin' Dots. We had corn on the cob. Turkey leg. Love a turkey leg.
Love a turkey leg. Yummy.
Fries with macaroni and cheese on top.
Delish.
And brisket. What else did we eat? Oh my God, we ate so much. Cotton
Oh my
candy.
God. I feel like you're like talking dirty to me. I'm getting riled up.
Kettle corn. Amelia loved kettle corn. That's all she wanted.
Yum. That
We ended up
sounds
throwing a lot of stuff
delightful.
away because I was like, had a bite. I'm good.
Well, yeah,
I'm
like
cute.
you don't need the whole thing. I could literally, when I tell you we are going, so I get into Minnesota really early. Like my flight leaves at 6 a.m. on Thursday, so I get into Minnesota at like 8 a.m. So we're doing the fair, and then we have a concert at the fair Thursday. So I am so excited to just eat all day. I have the cutest little outfit, like a little cute little country outfit that I'm gonna wear, and I'm gonna be posting on my stories. I want to eat corn. I want to eat cheese curds. I want ice cream. I'm gonna drink a ton of spotted cow. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Okay, you said the spotted cow beer.
Yes.
What is that?
It is I think it's Minnesota only. I can't remember if it's Minnesota or Wisconsin.
Yeah, 'cause I've never
I need
heard
to
of
look
it.
this. This is important to know because if I say the wrong one, my Midwesterners are going to be pissed. Wisconsin. It's a state only beer, and it's only made in Wisconsin. Like, you literally have to, you can't really get it in most places. I do think you can get it like in Minnesota because they're neighboring, but it's a delicious, like, you know, normal light beer, but it's a Wisconsin beer, and it's known.
Is Spotted Cow like a brand, or is it like they put Spotted Cow milk in it?
No, it's a brand.
Okay.
It's just like
I was like, this doesn't sound good.
I think it's like a lager or something.
Got it.
But yeah.
Like Line and Kugel, it's very big in that area.
Yeah, and there is nothing. Okay, and if you guys have ever been to the Midwest, and there is just something about a Bloody Mary that's different in Wisconsin and in Minnesota. They all come, like, you do a bloody beer, so you get a Bloody Mary and you get like a little thing of beer on the side, and you put beer in your Bloody Mary. I don't know, but it's just like they call it a bloody beer, but it's a delicacy thing in the Midwest.
Like it's a full-blown
really,
Bloody
like,
Mary
specific.
with vodka, but then you add beer to it.
And then you add beer to it.
Got it. Because the michelada is similar, but it's not the vodka. Yeah.
Right. So you put the vodka in there, but you get like a thing of Spotted Cow on the side, and it's typically specifically Spotted Cow. So I'm just very excited. I really enjoy going to, and I'm obviously I haven't seen Lex in a year. Over a year now.
What?
Yeah. I know. We both said the same thing. Lexi just got engaged too. So we're going dress
and
shopping.
She did just get engaged. Congratulations, Lexi. I'm assuming she still listens.
Yeah, she better, bitch. She better. But we're going dress shopping on Friday. She's got her wedding date. Yes.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Well,
exciting.
Please send her my love. Lexi, if you're hearing this, congrats. I know I don't think I've actually said it to you, but I'm super excited. You guys are going to have the best time. Sending you love. Oh, so you're going to be gone all weekend then. Is Connor going to live like a cave goblin?
Connor's going to Indiana.
So no goblins this weekend.
No goblins this weekend. I will come home to the house exactly as I left it. I would probably, he's good about cleaning and stuff before I come home, but no, he's actually going to go up to Indiana. I think Vivi has a tournament, so he's going to go see his family.
Well, hi, Mama Beth. Have a lovely time with your son, having your son home. I'm sure you'll love that. Yeah. By the time you hear this, he will have already been gone. But
yes. So Hutch is going to go to my parents and eat all weekend with Mom.
Sounds like amazing.
So we had to record early, which means we're doing full INYO. And guys, to kick it off, we have our first update. Our first INYO update.
We do.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm so excited to read this. Okay. So it says, CJ and Gina, remember me? I'm your friend whose husband was pegging curious. To Gina's dismay, he isn't gay, LOL. Which is good because, like I said, divorce isn't an option. I straight up asked him about it. I told him I saw it on the search history. He couldn't have taken it better. He said it's something that he always watched in porn. I didn't ask how long. And that he'd be open to trying it. I haven't done that yet, so no updates there. All is well in this house. Thanks.
I am obsessed. Okay, first of all, I don't know who you are, but I love you so much. I will say that this INYO rings in my head so often, and I can't tell you how many times that I have actually used this INYO to have as a catalyst to have conversations with straight friends about sexuality. And first of all, thank you for the update. If those of you who are listening that have updates on any of your others, please send them because this, I can't even begin to tell you when I saw this came in, we both screamed.
Yeah.
Amazing. I am so glad that you approached this with him and that it was such a great conversation. That's fantastic. And I am not surprised he's not gay. Because he's not. And I'm going to tell you why I'm really excited about this. And I hope that you continue down this exploration with your husband because now you've just opened up this whole new world for both of you. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. I think it's great because one thing that I've had conversations with some straight friends is men have sexual desires as well. Men are capable of sex and capable of feeling and stuff like that. It just drives me crazy that in 2025, we live in a world where these stereotypes where men can't have sexual desires to explore their own sexual nature, right? Female have their little tiddlywink on the outside. Men have theirs on the inside. Men have prostates. That's why gay men enjoy anal sex so much because that's where our button lives. I don't understand why men can't have their button pushed. I know plenty of straight men that like having their button pushed, but we have now created this whole world where if you touch a butt, you're gay. No, because that's just this thing that we decided to label society because we're now tapping into someone's insecurity. I am so proud of your husband for admitting this, and I'm so proud of you for having this open conversation with him. I think you should explore it. Don't do it on your own. Maybe have a conversation with hey, okay, what does that look like to you? Do we want to start off with maybe pegging and hey, let's go to a sex shop together and look at what our options are and have that conversation and make it something that you do together? Or is it something where maybe you explore with anal beads or something smaller or maybe a small toy? There's so much sexualness and energy that you can create to explore each other even more. And you just created this whole new world for yourself. And I absolutely love it. And everybody, that does not make him gay, stop saying that. It doesn't make him gay. You know what would make him gay is if he was having sex with men. That would make him gay. But he doesn't want to do that with men. He wants to do that with you. I think it's really cool. I think it's really modern. And I think you could set such a good example about communication in a relationship and how you can continue to explore each other and your bodies after being together for so long.
Yeah. You go, girl. He ain't gay.
I love it.
I've been proven wrong. No, that's awesome. Thank you so much for the update. Like, honestly, please, you are our first INYO update. If my lawn people don't get the fuck out of my window, I'm going to lose my mind. Do you hear this? It's
Yes.
so loud.
Love you, girl. Thanks for the update. Continue to give us updates. If you feel comfortable about it, when you decide to explore each other's bodies, I want to know. Even if you DM me on the side, I want to know.
I also want to know if you explore your husband's butthole.
Okay. Everybody wants to know.
Yeah, actually,
Connor
just write
wants
it here.
to know.
Connor doesn't want to know.
Well, Connor should learn to know because he might like it. He might like it. See, that's the thing here, is there are so many men out here that if you would just get over your insecurity about getting your butt touched, you might like it. And I think that's what you're afraid of.
I've tried. We've tried, haven't we? Little finger.
Oh my God. Okay, a finger is different than a toy.
Yeah,
do
but
not
you know,
like
I think it's a
fingers.
good,
I hate
it's a
them.
gateway. It's a gateway,
Fair.
you know?
Okay, I have one for you. Hey guys, I've been debating sending this in mostly because I think my friends listen to you guys as well, and I don't want her to recognize the entry, but screw it. Am I the only one that feels like my husband and baby are not just the first priority, but the only priority right now? I'm a new mom. My daughter is 8 months old. My best friend, who is single and truly a great auntie to my daughter, is starting to make comments about my whole personality is motherhood and being a wife. I find it insulting because, yeah, sorry, I like my husband and I like being a mom. She's never really been in a serious relationship, so it's probably hard for her to relate. I don't want to hurt her feelings, but I also need her to understand that she is no longer number one. Frankly, she won't ever be again, and that's how it should be. My family comes first. How do I talk to her about this? How do I make these comments stop?
Ooh, yeah. I think that's a common theme when you're, you know, in this stage of life. I'm, you know, entering my early 30s. A lot of my friends are in the same place, but I definitely have friends that are still single, and I'll start with them first. I can understand how it kind of feels like everybody's lives are moving on without yours, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to happen for you. Now, again, on that same note, priorities change. Your life changes, and that is okay, and that is how it should be. When I tell you, and every single one of my best friends will attest to me saying this. My husband, and I've said this on this podcast actually, my husband, our life together, our little bubble comes before everyone and everything else. And I have zero apologies for that. I think that today there's a reason why there are a 50% divorce rate, and it's because I think people stop making their spouses a priority. And I think your spouse should, and your daughter should absolutely be number one priority. Now, I don't know what kind of comments your best friend has been making, but I would say if it's starting to really bother you, I wouldn't even have this conversation over text. I would like ask her to get dinner or whatever it is and just say, hey, I notice you're making these comments. Maybe try your best to say like, hey, hubby, like, can you watch our little girl for an hour? Like, I need to go have this conversation with so-and-so. Like, give her your one-on-one time. Like, give her your undivided attention. Don't ask her to come over while your husband and child are there or while you're distracted. This seems like a conversation that really needs to be between you two. And just say like, hey, I noticed you're making these comments. Like, where are they coming from? You know, and if it comes from a place of her just being like, well, you know, like I feel like I'm no longer a priority in your life. I think it's okay for you to set boundaries for yourself, but also enter that conversation knowing that, especially if she hasn't been in a serious relationship before, it's hard for her to understand your position. So just be cognizant of that and understanding of that, but it doesn't mean that you're wrong for wanting to make sure your family, your daughter, your husband are first priority. That doesn't mean you're wrong, but I would come to her with kindness and just understand the fact that she's just not in the same place as you are in life.
I'm going to come from both perspectives. I'm going to address you first because you asked the question. I agree that life evolves. It just does. I'm going to be 42 at the top of the year. And I have had plenty of friends that have had children, and our relationship has changed. I have a best friend who was my party friend. We have a great relationship, but our friendship has evolved into something else because her priorities have had to shift. So I get where you're coming from. Hearing those comments, and I'm not 100% sure what they are, but it's probably not a good feeling when you've made your priority shift. Your family is your priority. Your child is your priority, and they should be. Those are going to be things that are going to be with you for the rest of your life. Regardless of your relationship, however that plays out, I'm sure you'll be together forever, long-lasting love. But regardless, you have a child together. That is never going to change. Mm-hmm. You will always have a relationship with this person, and your child will always be in your life, period. I agree that you have to make those things your priority. Raising children and having a family is hard. It takes a lot of time. It takes up a lot of attention. I do not have children. I have not been in relationships for years and years and years on end. Okay. So I kind of understand what you're saying, but again, I haven't lived that life, right? So, but it does take energy. Having kids is fucking expensive. It takes a lot of money. So I get that you can't just go out every weekend and party because one, you have to pay for new things. And two, that kid is getting up in the morning whether you want to or not, right? Like it just happens. You have to have, children have to be on a schedule. Families have to be on a schedule. And it's going to get to the point to where that's not going to change because next thing you know, it's going to be soccer practice and it's going to be carpool and it's going to be school and it's going to be something else. So those family things are never going to change. And I'm glad that you don't want to change those because those sound like things that you want to do. And those should be things that you want to do. I said this before, do what you want to do. It's your life. At the end of the day, it is your life and no one else gets to live that but you. Now, how to address that with this friend, I agree with you. It needs to be neutral ground. It needs to be just the two of you. Don't do it in your home. Don't do it in her home. Go and do something fun and don't just come out with it. Try to find a way to sort of make it sort of a more relaxed conversation. One thing I will say, and I don't think I say this enough, but it is something very important to me when I deal with things that are when we get a little confrontational, especially in a relationship, come from a place of question. How are you feeling about this? What is it about this? How can I do something differently? Like you're already sounds like you're trying to be empathetic. To me, what it sounds like in being on the other side of being in a friend's position before where I've missed my friends because our lives are not the same. I don't think she's doing because she's like, fuck this baby, fuck this friend. I think she misses you.
Yeah.
You're her friend, you're her family. And so having to see that her family dynamic is having to shift, probably because something that quote wasn't in her control, but like it's not her life. So just kind of remember like she's losing part of her family, like her dynamic with you is changing and that might be hard for her. So it just come from that position and let her know that you're not losing me. Now, our relationship may change, but you're not losing me. They're being such a great auntie to your daughter. They love being included in your life and continue to do that. Find ways to continue to include this person. But I don't think it's unreasonable to say, my love, I just want to let you know, things have changed in my life and I want you to be a part of that. I can't be the whatever it is that she's making these comments about. And I think Gina's right. I don't think it's bad to say, it hurts my feelings when you say some of these types of things because it makes me feel like you don't want to be my friend. Now, on the other side, I want to now talk to the other friend just in case they are listening, or I'm sure there are other people. I have been in that situation more than I've been in this situation, where there have been times where I miss my friend a lot that has a baby. I have had to find ways that, she has an unconventional schedule. I work from home. I'll go have lunch with her. I will go and have coffee with her. I have made it very clear and open to her that I want adult time with you. What can you do? And I will try and meet you halfway. I've gone to the park with them because that's what she can do. I continue to invite her in places that are nighttime activities or weekend activities. She can't always do them, but I continue to do that because there's going to be a time when she can. 8 months old is still early, but it's going to get to the point where this child's going to get 2, 3, 4 years old and time will free up a little bit more to where maybe she can do some of these things. Don't give up on that friendship. Just know that it has evolved and know that it's not personal. It's not personal. If that friendship is important to you, take a deep breath, take a big step back. It's not personal. Find ways to still make the relationship happen. And there are going to be ways that you can have one-on-one time is when the kid starts going to daycare. It's just really hard right now because the kid's so young. But I guarantee you it will change. Like my friend and I barely saw her maybe once every other 6 months, and it just got hard. But now that the child is 3, I see her a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, like we have to remember, guys, like moms, we have to kind of stop putting so much pressure on our mom friends. Like they have to be the wife. They have to be a mom. If they're like, I just feel like women are expected to be so many things to so many people. And I promise you, if you are the single friend, like she feels that for sure. And she feels like that pulling from her husband, from her child. Like women truly kind of do have to be everything for everyone. And it's a lot. So your friendship just might look a little bit different right now. And that's okay. And there's going to be a time when all this stuff comes up for you that like you're going to have someone to ask questions. You're going to have someone to look up to. You're going to have someone whose child might be old enough to watch your child. So I totally agree. I think CJ, like you had hit the nail on the head. Like don't give up on this friendship now. You might have to give a little bit more effort right now, but it's not always going to be like that. And just remember, like I know that she's feeling that pressure. So just try to be understanding. Yeah.
And continue to find ways to like try to support her as a mom and to show up and be a good auntie, because clearly she wrote that in this message that how much that meant to her. So I'm talking to both of you, like this child could be something that's good for both of your relationship to have it evolve together. Sounds like you want to be a good auntie, and she's clearly loves that you are being there as an auntie. She wants you to stay. You both want to stay in each other's lives. Just find a way to navigate that a little bit differently.
Totally. You ready for this one? It says, CJ and Gina, love your podcast. Ooh, thank you. I'm currently at a loss with my mother-in-law. I'm a woman, married to a woman, and I've been out since high school. We're 31 now for reference. We want to have a child, and we're deciding who will carry. We're going through testing now, and I have always wanted to carry and be a mom. My wife doesn't feel as strongly about carrying, but her mom does. She keeps making little jabs about how she wants her grandchild to have her blood. It's getting to a point where I wouldn't even want to tell her if I got pregnant. CJ, how would you feel if Joey's parents did this? Ooh.
I am still marinating on this question because there's so many ingredients to this recipe. I will say when I read this and I saw it come in, I actually asked Joey about it. I read this to him, and it was quite the conversation in my house that morning. I will start by saying the comments that are coming from their own mother-in-law, I would feel the same way. I think it's inappropriate. It does not sound like to me, though, that this is a gay thing. It sounds like I don't hear, and that was part of a conversation that we had, is that like, well, is this a gay thing? Like, do they want their daughter to want to carry because it's that's their daughter. The daughter's supposed to be the one to, like, to me, it just doesn't sound like there is this whole, my daughter's a lesbian situation. So I'm glad that that's not part of it. At least I hope it's not. But the comments coming about, I want it to be my blood kind of situation, that would bother me. That would bother me a lot. And it's not your family. Like, how do you politely say, shut the fuck up? I also want to say that I hope you guys have this beautiful child, regardless of who carries it. I'm really excited you're exploring that you all want to be moms. I think that's really, really cool. I don't think that we see enough LGBTQ parents these days and being so open about that. So I'm excited for you, first of all. That's really cool. I think the first step is going to have to be coming from your wife. I would presume you all are probably already having this conversation, but I think it's worth to sit down to talk to your wife about, hey, this is how I'm feeling about the comments that are coming from your family and how it's making me feel and the concerns that I have. And I don't know if it's worth you saying this to her, but something that was in my mind, and when Joey and I were talking about this, is I would be concerned at how her parents would look at the child after they're born. Like, if you were to carry the child,
like not seeing it as their grandchild, essentially.
Not seeing it as their grandchild, and how that would make your wife feel. Like, this is your son or daughter. Like, what do you? And to me, that's where my head kind of went, is if you're saying and feeling this way now because it's, quote, not your child, how is that going to portray down the line. Now, I may be wrong there. It may be, oh my God, this beautiful, loving, gorgeous baby is in front of me. Who cares who made this lovely thing? Give this to me. This is my grandchild, you know? Because as gay people, we think about that a lot. You know, I've very few moments in my life I've thought about, would I specifically have a child that was my child? I've thought about what it was like being a parent, and it's never crossed my mind that it would be mine of the making. I always assumed that it would be me taking on the responsibility of adoption or, you know, something like that, just because that's what I'm used to in my culture, in my people, in our people. That's a really tough one. I think just my first steps would be having a conversation with your wife and seeing how your wife also feels about it, and having a conversation together about how the wife should approach this conversation with her mother. I do not think you should be a part of that conversation with that mother. I think your wife needs to sit down with your mother alone. Yes, absolutely not. Now, if it's this thing that constantly persists after conversations have been had with this mother-in-law, then I could say, you know, depending on your relationship with her, I'd be like, you know, hey, mother-in-law, I just want to sit down with you and say, hey, look, I know that we've had this conversation. I know my wife has talked to you about this. It bothers me. I want you to be a part of this child's life. This is our family, and you are part of that family, and I really want you to be there for this, but it's making us uncomfortable, and I'm concerned about our child. And continue to say the we stuff. But I think initially, if no conversation has been had with this mother, it needs to come from the daughter first. If you say it first before your wife does, I don't think it's going to go well. It wouldn't to me, because why isn't my child talking to me about this? Right?
How would this mother-in-law feel like if you guys did adopt? Like, is she not going to see this child as her you know what I mean? That's just so, that's wild to me, because I hope this doesn't happen. You guys are going through testing now, but like, it's not, a lot of women have a very hard time getting pregnant. So God forbid, and I'm not trying to put this out there. I'm just saying either of you have a hard time carrying, or whatever the case, like, is she not going to accept an adopted child into her life? Like, there's just a lot of layers to this. Like, that's your grandchild. Like, who cares of how it happens? There's so many couples, hetero or non, that have a really hard time having babies. I can't imagine a mother-in-law that will look at any child that you are taking care of and loving as your own, it being your own, no matter how it comes to be, and saying, well, that's not my blood. That is bananas.
And so I think it's worth a question. Where is this coming from? What if we decide to adopt? What if neither one of us can conceive? What if? Like, talk to me about where this is coming from, Mom. I want to try to understand. And then so maybe that there's a little more empathy there, and then come back and say, okay, well, this is what's going to happen. We as a couple have decided this is what's best for our family, and this is the direction that we are choosing to take. I would like for you to be a part of this. It just drives me crazy when we get so many of these questions about in-laws and about parents and stuff that, or friends. I don't understand why friends and parents and family and people get to dictate what you want to do with your children. I don't get that.
I don't
But you got
either.
to talk to them, you know, or it's just going to get worse.
Yeah. Well, good luck to both of you. I hope all your testing comes back amazing and you're going to have the best family. And CJ, if you and Joey ever take care of a little one, no matter how you get it, I'm going to acquire that child as my full-on niece or nephew, no matter the fuck what. So that's crazy. Ugh. What is with these mother-in-laws these days?
A lot of layers to it. You got to talk to her and let your wife do it first.
Good luck, guys. I hope you have your little one very soon. That's very exciting.
It is exciting. Let us know when you get pregnant.
Yeah.
Speaking of kids, a lot of kid questions today, which I love that you guys are asking the two people that don't have children. So those of you that do have children, please feel free to weigh in on the comments and stuff.
Yes.
If you have additional feedback, how you're hearing from parents is also helpful. We're not parents, so let us hear from parents. We're not experts on this stuff. Please,
Totally.
people that are mommies and daddies, please let us know. Have a baby in your late 20s or wait until your 30s? What if you know you're going to have a hard time because you had endometriosis, but you don't know if you want to start a family right away after getting married? All my 20-something friends are having kids. What do you think?
I have a lot of follow-up questions. Are you married? Do you have a person to have this baby with? I guess you don't have to, but if you're
Does
in
that
your
matter?
young 20s, well, if you're in your young 20s, it's really expensive to just like go through like the steps of having your own baby. You know what I'm saying?
Well, she says don't want to right away after getting married.
Okay, so maybe she's getting married. Yeah. I think that's totally up to you. I mean, as far as like your medical condition, that's something to have a conversation with your OBGYN about. I can't really tell you whether or not you should start trying sooner or later.
What's endometriosis?
Basically like an issue where tissue grows on the outside of the uterus. So it kind of turns into like scar tissue. So women with endometriosis typically have extremely like painful periods. Like it definitely makes it harder for you to get pregnant. And there's not really like a cure for it. You can go in and get the scar tissue taken away, but it'll just kind of grow right back, unfortunately. I don't think anyone can answer that except for you, my gal. Like I have friends that are in their late 20s that are having babies, but then I have friends who didn't start having babies until their 30s, and both are like equally as happy. Both are happy about when they had kids. So I would say if you're concerned medically, like my first piece of advice would be go to your doctor and see what your doctor says. No? What do you think?
I definitely think before I consider anything else, your health comes first. I am not as familiar with endometriosis. I'm very ignorant to those things. And I definitely agree the first thing you should do is have a very in-depth conversation with your OGBYN. And then the next thing I would do is have a conversation with your husband or the man or the woman or the wife, whomever you want to do this with. Or if you decide that you don't want to do it with someone, you do want to be a single mom and you have the means of, can you do that in a way that you are comfortable? Being alive is expensive. So I just want to make sure that you're in a position that you're going to live the life that makes you happy regardless, because your happiness is your happiness. It's not your spouse's happiness. It's not your in-laws' happiness. It's not your friend's happiness. It's not your parents' happiness. And if you want to have children sooner rather than later, then I want that for you. If you feel like you have a life that you want to explore and you want to do cool, fun things and you want to wait until your mid to late 30s, do that. Or maybe even your early 40s, do that. The person I was just talking about, she didn't get pregnant until she was 41. And she only felt like she had to do it then because, eggs don't stay around forever. So I will just say that it is not up to anyone else. Girl, the world is your oyster. There's so much that you can do if that's what you want to do. If you're feeling the pressure, it's not about anyone else but you. Do what you want to do.
Yeah, 100%. If you're concerned because of your endometriosis about having a child later in life, I understand that. But maybe this perspective will help. Connor and I always say, if, we are in my late 30s, his early 40s, or even my early 40s when we decide to have our first child, and for whatever reason, because of age, health, whatever it is that we can't just conceive naturally or whatever the case, at that point, if we want a child that badly, we will have a child, whether that's, going through other routes, adopting. So there are other ways. Like if you are just not ready right now and you worry down the line that, something is going to keep you from conceiving or conceiving in a healthy way, whatever it is, there are other ways. If you want a child that badly, you will find a way. You will find a way. Absolutely. So just maybe use that as because that's how I take a breath when I'm feeling pressure about having kids, or even if I get this itch because all my friends are pregnant and having babies right now, but I just know that I'm not ready. By then, we will figure out how to have a child, whether it's our child or whether we adopt. So just something to consider, and maybe that will help you kind of lessen the pressure on yourself.
And don't feel like you have to do it the way that everyone else says.
Yeah.
To your question, before or after marriage, I know people that got pregnant before they got married and they love it. They're having the best life ever and they ended up getting married. I know somebody that has a baby right now that her and her man never got married. They're still not married. They don't plan on getting married. And they're totally fine with that. There is no norm in this world except for the norm that you set for yourself. Don't let other people pressure you into some sort of cookie cutter that they think that they fit in. That is their box. That's not your box. Build the box that you want to live in, and I'm totally cool with that. And anyone else that says differently, then they're not your friend, and they have their best interest at heart. Baby, do what you want to do. Go live your life, boo.
Yep. Totally. Well, good luck to you and your decision making.
Yeah, you're going to be whatever you decide. I think is going to be great.
Totally.
One more. So I got married February 2023. Prior to getting married, I racked up some credit card debt. I'd say between $5K and $10K. And now I share a bank account with my husband, but I never told him about this debt. I have a small part of my paycheck going into my checking account, and I have been slowly trying to pay off my debt. Should I have told him? Do I tell him now? He's all about saving money and trying to fix our house, so I feel like he's going to be so disappointed, LOL, scale from 1 to 10. How mad is he going to be when he finds out? And I never said anything. My only leverage is that he never asked.
Been there, girl.
I have several answers to this. You go first.
Yeah. So I think I'm sure a lot of people can relate. I have a friend who did the same thing, waited till after they were married to tell him. And similar to me, I had some credit card debt before Connor and I combined bank accounts that I was just trying to like pay off on my own, whatever. The best, especially if you are already combining accounts and you're like doing little by little away, credit card debt doesn't work like that. You can't just like put tiny bits away. You are going to rack up so much interest. So I would bite the bullet, tell your husband, be like, sorry, I didn't tell you, because what's going to happen is he is going to help you get that paid off in larger chunks. Or he is going to move the debt to a credit card that has like less of a high percentage rate so that you can get it paid down faster, because your debt is his debt now. So that is what happens when you combine bank accounts and you get married. And that's the decisions that you two financially make with each other. At the end of the day, your financial decisions affect each other when you're married. And I totally get it as someone who I still sometimes like I'll make a dumb financial decision and then I have to tell my husband and it never feels good to tell him. But I promise you it is worse if you don't tell him, and it is worse because $5,000 to $10,000 of credit card debt, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. Like I've been there. It's not a little bit of credit card debt. Like you are going to rack up a bunch of interest and you're not going to be able to get out of it. So highly recommend just bite the bullet, tell him. He'll be more mad if you rack up all this interest over the next 5 years rather than just telling him now, and you guys can work to pay it off together.
I agree. You need to say something ASAP. The second thing I'm going to say is do not, under any circumstances, at any point in the conversation from now until the end of time, even if it comes up later in life, say to him, well, you did not ask. Do not say that. That will make your situation way worse. I'm telling you right now. That, like whoever this is, I love you, but when I read that, I wanted to shake the shit out of you. Do not make that an excuse of any kind to justify any reason, because purposely leaving information out is lying in omission. It is still lying. Yeah. So please do not do that. Do not say that. That's between us gals, right? We're not going to say anything to him, but don't say anything to him.
Just be like, babe, I was scared to tell you. Just say that.
And that's
It's okay to say that. Yeah.
This man clearly loves you. You are married. Everyone makes mistakes. Okay, so I'm going to say this. Credit card debt is normal. A vast, vast, vast majority of people in this country have credit card debt. I can't think of one person, even rich people that I know, that didn't rack up a shit ton of credit card debt early in life. I am one of those people. I was very fortunate that my grandparents helped to get me out of it, because I was in such crippling credit card debt, because I was like, free money, free money, free money. Especially when I was in college, I racked up almost 20 grand of credit card debt. Okay. And ever since then, I couldn't get out of it. I agree with what Gina's saying here. Credit card companies are predatory, and they rely on you paying off little amounts at a time. That's why your minimum payment is so little when they give that to you, because they don't want you to pay it off. That is how credit cards make money, is the interest. I agree with Gina. We need to get that balance out of your life ASAP. The first thing I want you to do is you're going to come up with some sort of plan and a very thoughtful conversation you're going to have with this man. And the first part of that conversation is, honey, I cut up the card. The card no longer exists. If you still have that card in your possession, as soon as this episode is over, you're going to go in your wallet, you're going to pull it out, and you're going to cut it into tiny little pieces, and you're going to go online and you're going to cancel that account. Because you are then going to go to your husband and say, hey, look, I have been trying to pay this off. I want to let you know you're going to come clean. I made a mistake. I'm really sorry. You now have finances together. Totally fine if you guys have separate accounts. I believe in that. I believe in having separate accounts. You know, you still have joint stuff together, but it's okay for you to have your own checking account. It's okay for you to have your own expenses. You're making your own money. Totally fine with that. However, debt is something that you are now legally bound together with. So any debt or any bad financial stuff impacts him as an individual and you as a couple. You are legally bound by the government. You got to come clean with him. But having a plan shows him that, hey, look, I made a mistake. I should have told you about it. I don't care if it's 5 to 10. Maybe it's 15, because sometimes people don't want to be honest. Whatever it is, let him know this is a plan I put forth to try and get it done. I understand that these are the goals for our family. These are the goals for our house. This is what you want to do. But I want to come clean about something that I know that I was wrong about. And I want to make sure that we're accomplishing our goals as a family together. He may feel a little trust eroded. So I want you to be prepared to say, I fucked that up. I'm letting you know you don't have to worry about me being honest about this anymore. Money is one of the biggest reasons relationships fail. It just is. Yeah. People fight about money all the time. It's money and family. If you haven't listened to these, I need your opinions. That's common, but we usually get. Don't let that be a statistic in your relationship. Come clean. If he gets to get elevated and it becomes a really, contentious thing, find ways to prepare yourself for that and to navigate that, and just continue to own it and be like, you're right. I'm sorry. It's just going to be a tough conversation, but you got to find a way to get yourself out of this debt, or it's going to cost you in the long run, and it could set you back even more. I guarantee you, if you hold on to this, it's going to make it worse. There is no positive outcome, in my opinion, where you hold on to this and it gets better, even if you're trying to pay it off. I just don't see that happening. I agree that he will quite likely probably want to be like, girl, I'm going to get you, but all right, let's just pay it off. Yeah. That's just life. Yeah. We were young. We do dumb shit with credit cards. Everybody
say you were scared to tell him. Just fucking be like,
totally
babe,
agree.
I was embarrassed and I wanted to handle it on my own. I literally had to go to Connor one time and I was like, Connor, this is like while we were trying to pay for a wedding. We had just bought a house. I was like, I have been trying to pay for this by myself and I can't. And he looked at me and he said, okay. He was like, I need you to adopt this new mindset that if you have to put it on a credit card, you can't afford it. He's like, from now on, he's like, I need you to like adopt that mindset. If you don't have the money to pay for it with our debit card, or it's not in our checking account, or it's not doable in our checking account, you don't buy it. You just wait. And he looked at me and he said, I will help you get this paid off. It was a really difficult thing to do. I had racked up quite a bit, and just be honest, boo. We have all fucking been there, and so please don't feel like I'm embarrassed. Like I totally get it.
I don't think you have anything to be embarrassed about.
It happens.
Yeah. I get why you would feel embarrassed about credit card debt. I totally get it, but I can't think of anybody that hasn't been in some sort of credit card situation.
Same.
Credit cards rely on that behavior. They rely on us to feel this way. In my opinion, I don't think you did anything wrong by getting in the situation. I just think where you're starting to tread into the, you probably shouldn't have done that, is not being honest about it. And that goes to anybody that's listening that is maybe not quite in this situation yet. You all need to be open about your finances to your partners should you decide to not even get married, like moving in together. Joey and I don't live together. I would be shocked if that didn't happen probably soon. And I know he's probably listening to this and he's going to hear some of this for the first time. But, Joey and I have had a little conversation about money. I am very open about my finances. I would talk about them on the show. I am one of those people that think talking openly about money normalizes the conversation and puts things out there, like something as so simple as talking about salaries. Talking about them has made us understand that the disparity between women's and men's salaries is an issue. Like, if we weren't talking openly about salaries, then we would never know that. I'm very open about talking about money. I'm that person. I understand not everybody's like that. I'm not asking everyone to. But in a partnership, I do think you should be open about money. I don't need to know everything, but when you start combining a life together, as that slowly happens, it's important to understand spending habits. It's important to understand financial capacity, financial debt, credit scoring. What can you actually afford if we're sharing rent together? Something that I, have done previously, and something I will be talking to Joey about should we decide to move in together, is I don't need all of our money to go in one pot, but I want one checking account where we put in 50-50 to pay for anything that is into our life. Rent, utilities, anything we want to spend, something together. Like, there is a joint checking account, so there is a ledger and a paper trail of every dollar in, every dollar out. Your money is your money and my money is my money, but we're not married. But having an understanding so that, like, you're not Venmoing me, I'm not doing that. We need to make smart financial decisions, and you need to have conversations about what this money is, because I don't want to live in a place where you're living paycheck to paycheck trying to pay for your half of the rent. That doesn't make sense. That's not fair to you. I don't like that. I also, I want to understand what are our income variances, what are our saving variances, because eventually I'm going to want to understand what that looks like. Being comfortable having those conversations in the beginning is going to change the dynamic instead of having to apologize for them later. Now, I'm not saying that to you, Boo. I'm just like, in general, for everyone, try and get yourself in the mindset about talking about these uncomfortable things before they become a problem, so that you're 100%. Normalizing the ability to have these conversations.
Yeah, and it's not easy. Connor and I have been together 7 years, guys, and I am just now getting to a point, we've been married for 2, where I am starting to feel a lot more comfortable just being like, hey, I accidentally whatever it is. Like, it just takes time. I accidentally bought this or whatever it is. Like, we've always, we've had these conversations early, but like, I get it. It's not totally easy, especially if maybe you and your husband have like different income, whatever it is. It's different for every couple, but talking about it is so important. And just lay your dick on the table, baby. Just tell him.
Just tell him. It might suck and it might hurt, but But it'll be over, and then you will. I promise you, you're gonna get out of this debt a hell of a lot faster with two of you paying towards it, not just you. You got to get out of that debt fast.
Yeah, get it out of. Yeah, yep. BOL.
BOL.
It was fun. I'll catch up on INYOs.
Yeah, we're all caught up. I love it. So if you guys have any, theopinionatedpodcast.com, fill out them out there. I want to hear them. They're fun. They're my favorite. They're good.
Yeah, I know. I love them. I also just love to give my opinion. Like, I love to give life advice. We are life coaches.
Oh, God. For those of you that have been around since the beginning, you understand how we feel about that. We are life coaches.
Why pay a life coach when you could just come listen to the pod?
Submit an anonymous form.
Yes. Why do, anyway. Well, y'all, I hope everybody has a great week.
Have a fabulous week, everyone. Have fun this weekend with Lexi. Tell her I said hi.
Thank you. I'm so excited to update you guys after. I will tell her you said hi, but it'll be fun. All right, y'all. We will see you next week. Oh, yes. Happy early birthday to Joey. I'll make sure I shoot him a text.
Well, by the time he hears this, he will.
It'll be late birthday. Happy belated birthday, Joey. Love you so much. Oh my God. When we get off the air, we got to talk about you guys moving in together. Woo!
We'll be cutting that out. Anyway,
no, you got to talk